Should you move to Redmond, Washington? And is Redmond, Washington a horrible place to live? Answering all of that and more in today's video here at Seattle Living 101. My name is Andre. The team and I, we get calls, texts, emails all the time from people just like you looking to move into the area. So if that's you, whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, book a Zoom call with us, and we'd be happy to help you make that smooth move over to Seattle, Washington. Now, let's start off with the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs of living in Redmond, Washington. At the top of our list, I want to start off on a high note, starting off with the pros. We have pro number one, which is Redmond is a tech hub. If you are in the tech industry and you're looking to move to Washington, number one, we can help you with that. Number two, Redmond is where you want to be. Most of the people who live in Redmond are involved in the tech industry somehow. And of course, that starts off with Microsoft being over here because Microsoft alone has 125 buildings in Redmond. And Redmond is a fairly small city. It's not as huge as some of these other ones. So to have 125 buildings, really Microsoft pulls Redmond together, right? It helped the economy over here in Redmond, Washington. Historically an agricultural town, it really turned into a tech industry in the 1980s with Microsoft's arrival. Now, what happens as you live in Redmond, Washington, if you're working for Microsoft, what many people do is after a few years of working there, they end up starting their own businesses. And that's also what Redmond is known for, a lot of tech startups. There's many people who start off working for Microsoft and then branch out and do their own thing. Now, pro number two, of course, we have outdoor activities. What's beautiful about Pacific Northwest, Washington State as a whole, is that you are a part of all the wonderful beauty that comes with living in Washington State. Now, Redmond is on the east side over here, located right by Kirkland, Bellevue, Newcastle, and Sammamish. Now, one of the beautiful things about Redmond is if you're a nature enthusiast, then Redmond is definitely for you. Number one is the fact that it borders Lake Sammamish. Now, Lake Sammamish is a massive lake over here, and it touches Sammamish, which is another city, Bellevue, Redmond, and all the cities that really surround it. Now, what's awesome about Lake Sammamish is not only is it a massive lake, people go there for wakeboarding, fishing, just sitting at Lake Sammamish Park over here and enjoying some time with the family at the beach. Lake Sammamish is one of the biggest lakes over here. Now, the biggest one, of course, is Lake Washington, which that's also a short drive away, but it's definitely a place where you want to be during the summer. Now, also you have Marrymore Park. Marrymore Park hosts over 3 million annual visitors of people coming to the park. It's over 640 acres and there are tons of things to do there. There is an off-leash dog park over there, so we love our pets over here in Washington, so feel free to take your dogs over there and get the leash off, let them run around and play with other ones. There is, of course, many walking trails. You also have the playground, and also you also have a RC field over there for you to fly your planes or helicopters or your kids, whatever it is. But Marrymore Park is located essentially right in the heart of Redmond over here, and it's crazy huge park. It actually used to be farmland back in the day. And then the businessman who bought it ended up selling it to another company who ended up selling it to King County. I believe it was back in the 60s when King County ended up buying it. So it's definitely one of the highlights of Redmond. Now, just a short drive away, you also have Cougar Mountain Regional Park. And over there, you have over 3,000 acres of wilderness and 35 miles of just trails. So again, over here, we're into mountain biking, even electric biking. You'll see everybody has an electric bike over here. I don't know, it's a thing. So if you have an electric bike that you want to take on the trails, you can. Mountain biking, regular biking. If you're just looking out to go take a hike, take your dog on a walk, take your kids on a walk, Cougar Mountain Regional Wildland Park is a place where you want to be. It's a little bit further south in just a short, maybe 10-15 minute drive. But you know, the beautiful part about Redmond is you're located really in the heart of the east side, and everything is a short 15-20 minute drive away. If you're looking to go up maybe to Snoqualmie Pass this winter for some snowboarding or skiing, that's probably a 40-minute drive away. So and To put it into perspective, 40 minutes over here in Washington is a very short drive. You know, the average Washingtonian is stuck like 55 hours a year in traffic. So driving 40 minutes for us is no big deal. Now, if safety is important to you, not only property safety, but bodily safety, Redmond is a place where you want to be, and I'll explain why. Crime rate is relatively low over there, and all across the east side. Like, if you're looking for a safe place to live, you want to be in the east side, and Redmond is a good opportunity. Redmond is a place where you can walk freely down the street without worrying about getting mugged, without really seeing any kind of homeless activity. You really don't get anything like that over on the east side. We'll just say it like this: your taxes go a long way. Now, if you were to live on the western side of Lake Washington, over here in the heart of Seattle downtown, well, like any other city, you're gonna see those things. But Redmond really is a bit more of a suburban feel. So if that's what you're after, it's definitely a great place for you to be at. And for number 4 on our pro list, one of the best things about Redmond is the education and schools. There's a place in Redmond called Education Hill. Education Hill has many schools over there. It's notably one of the best areas to live. And really all of Redmond has amazing schools with A+ ratings. If you go on niche.com or greatschools.org, I challenge you to find me a school in Redmond that has a bad rating. Really, all schools on our east side, including Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond, Sammamish, Newcastle, all of the schools over there are going to be rated usually A+. Now, the school district here in Redmond, if you're looking to do some research, is called Lake Washington School District. And in Lake Washington School District, one of the best schools, not even here in Redmond, but in the whole state, is Tesla STEM High School. It's rated one of the highest ones here in the state and across the country. Now, if your kids don't go to Tesla STEM High School, fear not. You have many other options over here, just like Redmond High School, which is also rated an A+. There's many great options over here. Tesla STEM High School just happens to be one of the ones that stands out on these websites like greatschools.org and niche.com. Now, one of the cons, when we think about our bad list, when it comes to the bad things about Redmond, Washington, one of the things that you can expect when moving here is high competition in the real estate market. If you're looking to really settle down here and buy a home or a condo or a townhouse for that matter, you're gonna have some competition most of the year. Now, sometimes it settles down right around December or so, especially if a house has been sitting on the market. That might be a great opportunity for you to target to try to negotiate a better deal. However, most of the year, houses that go on the market end up flying off the shelf within 8 to 10 days just because of the high demand for real estate over here. Now, it depends where you live as well, but overall, one of the things I also want to mention is that when it comes to price points here, a moderate average home of about 1,000, maybe 1,200 square feet can fetch a price of about $900,000 to $1 million. Now, in some areas like near Redmond High School, these same homes can go upwards of $1.3 million. But if you're looking for a more modern home and definitely more square footage, for example, for a growing family, if you're looking at a 2,500 square foot home that's built maybe in the 90s or early 2000s, or even brand new construction, those homes can go $2 million and up. For the second downside when it comes to living in Redmond, Washington, is the public transportation system. If you live in Redmond, Washington, you're gonna need a car. Unless you live in downtown in a condo where you can walk essentially to get your coffee and to the grocery store, and that's about it. 99% of you are gonna need a car over here, unlike parts of Seattle downtown where some people don't even have cars. Here you will, because it's definitely more of a suburban feel, and there's not a lot of public transportation going around, which is also a plus side, because if there was a lot of public transportation going around, you would probably get some visitors from downtown Seattle. Now, when it comes to talking about a suburban feel, that's con number 3 for some people is, if you're not into a suburban feel, then Redmond is definitely not for you, because you're gonna see a lot of trees around here. It's not a country feel, although some parts of Redmond you can get some acreage. For the most part, it's just a suburban feel. If a city vibe is your thing, you might be thinking about Bellevue downtown living, which we have a separate video for that. But Redmond is gonna be for where you're looking to settle down and kind of stay for, maybe 5-10 10 years or so and just raise a family or your 20 dogs, whatever it is you want to do. And for downside number 4, we have the dependency on the tech industry. Now, like we talked about, pro number 1 was it's a great tech hub. It also can be a downside because I can tell you this, back in 2020, when COVID hit, 2021, I had many clients who were looking to buy homes. Now, some of them happened to be looking in the Redmond area and all across the east side. Many of my clients worked for Microsoft, and when the layoffs started happening over the last few years, there were times where clients would call me up and say,
Andre, you know what, we gotta put the home search on pause because I don't know if I'm even gonna have a job.
So, if you think about it, with Microsoft being one of the top employers here in Redmond, 125 building, thousands of employees, it is to be expected that if Microsoft decides to lay people off, might not be too good for the economic growth of Redmond, Washington. So if you are in the tech industry, just be aware of that. Now, if you feel secure about your job, that's wonderful. But like I said, I had many clients who felt secure about their jobs. And when Microsoft came knocking with the layoffs, there were a lot of people putting their home searches on pause. So with that, we are closing out this video. And hey, like I said before, the team and I here at Seattle Living 101, we get calls, texts, emails all the time from people just like you looking to move to the Seattle area. And if that's you and you want to save $1,000 on closing costs, hit me up at the number below, schedule a Zoom call with me, and I'd be happy to help you make that smooth move over to the Seattle, Washington area and to show you how we can save you $1,000 on your closing costs when buying a home. See you in the next one.